Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming, the home of tips, tricks, guides, and tunes for Forza Horizon. And it's the summer season on Series 34 today, and we're looking at Bring Me a Dream, vans and utilities on the street scene D-Class. You've got Ambleside Ascent, Broadway Crossfire, and the Monument Wins. This gets you a Ford Raptor 2011. Okay, change my difficulty up because I've been doing the Showcase remix before this. Stability on, traction off. Or actually, traction on, stability off, you know. So let Kira say her stuff here and we can have a look at the cars. And it's a bit of a no-brainer. D-Class vans and utilities. Of course, I'm going to go for the Morris Mini Traveller. Woody Whippet tune, D-Class. I've used it over the last 2 weeks for different championships, and this is awesome. This is actually really cool. This is definitely one of my favourite tunes, and it's pretty much any excuse to get this car into a race and actually just give it a blast around, really. So definitely good tune, good car, and not a bad championship, even though it is street scene, D-Class. You're not talking sort of too much stupidity. So Ambleside Ascent, okay. We know it's on highly skilled. I've got traction on. I've got stability off. So pulling away past the transit vans, the generic boring transits. And it's called Bring Me a Dream, as in Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream. The old song. And there's a Holden Sandman right there. And I've passed you. I'm not going with the Sandman route. I'm going the Morris Traveller route because it's better. It really is. So I'm going to fly around here. I'm already into first place. This has taken no time whatsoever. And normally I look at street scene and say, you know what? This is going to be annoying. I'm not going to enjoy this. But being D-Class, you haven't got like the stupidly overpowered cars. And it's also in this Woody wagon, which, to be fair, for its class, is stupidly overpowered. So you've pretty much got a bit of advantage on me. You're not racing against stupidly overpowered cars, but you can actually use a car which is slightly stupidly overpowered. You know what? That's FTW, right, for the win. Little drift round map one, and 40% now. Yeah, okay, 40% clean racing. Yeah, it's easy to get clean racing when you've got no one around you. Just keep going and just having a bit of a blast, really. And this is the summer season, Series 34. And it's not too bad. It's got a Hypercars Championship, which is a bit iffy, but there's plenty of Hypercars in the game. And there's plenty of stuff that can do it. But it's just going to be a bit of a mad one. Having a blast round Edinburgh, where a lot of them are, in a hypercar, because that's just going to be, that's going to be mad. But this is a nice championship. I like this. And I don't think the championships this season are actually too bad. You've got the Bring Me a Dream Championship, which is this one. Street Scene, D-Class, Woody Wagon, you know, it's pretty easy. You've got the Cult Following, and that's actually not too bad. I'm going to drive around a few circuits there in the Myers Manx, which again is quite a nice car, and of course dirt racing with the Down Under. So anything to have a blast around in a HSV, I guess, you know. So yeah, that's all right. Giving it a little drift round this way and just keep going with it. Yeah, this is absolutely mad, this car is. This is one of the early tunes I made, one of the first things I actually did when I got into tuning. And this holds up. This is absolutely solid. This really is. This is an absolutely solid tune. And it works brilliantly. I love it. That's why any opportunity I get to use this in an event, I will do. Because it just absolutely kicks it. And this is the first one out of the way now. Boom, there you go. Finished first place. Job's a good one. 20 points on the board for that one. And the other ones are like 7% behind me. So, okay. Moving on. Finished that one. 20 points out of a total of 60. So, doing pretty well so far. That's 1 out of 3. Completed. let's go back into the map, and where are we off to next? Broadway Crossfire. Okay, it's not one of my favourites. I find this one really irritating because there's a lot of tight corners. You end up sort of looping back on yourself, and it's just a pain in the backside. But I'm going to do this one next simply because it's closest to me, and I'll go up to Edinburgh for the Monument Wins one for the final event. So let's get loaded into this one, and I'm keeping my settings pretty much as they are because they work all right. Highly skilled, which is what you need to get the completion. For this car, in my opinion, traction on is sort of important, unless you're dirt racing it, and stability off. Yeah, that works. Second place already, and got the Sandman, the Holden Sandman front. I could have gone for that, but you know what? I'm not that big a fan of it. I'm really not. When you start doing stuff that requires like Sandman, stuff like this Morris does it better. It's as simple as that. So give them a little nudge out of the way, because when it comes to street scene, I tend to be a bit, you know, all rules are off, sort of no holds barred, because the driver tires on street scene are pretty cheaty. They tend to be fairly overpowered for what they need to be, and they're definitely very dirty drivers, so I've got no problem in sort of pushing back when they start to push me. But first place on this one, you can see on the mini-map how it does loop around a lot, and there's sections where you do cross over yourself, a bit like that one. And you have to be a bit careful on it, to be fair, because you can easily just miss a corner and completely mess it up. But I'm doing all right. I'm in first. I've got a pretty decent gap. Need to put the brakes down in a sec here, so cutting that corner, going a little bit wide. That's not ideal, but it doesn't really matter so much. Hard brake on that one. Give it a turn, because the amount of times I've done this in S1s or S2s and ended up in people's gardens. Yes, it's not good. It really isn't. So come around here, back on yourself, round the loop, and just keep going round. I'm 48% of the way through. I've got a respectable bit of distance, so I'm not stressing too much, because the thing about these championships is that you need to get more points than anybody else. And my general rule of thumb on this one, I say it every week, because I get a lot of new people coming in and looking at this stuff. There's new people jumping on this game all the time, and that's fantastic. And it's not really explained about the championships. And it's always going to be win the championship. And the best way to do that is to win 2 out of the 3 events and get second place as a minimum. If you can get 3 wins, that's all good. That's brilliant. But at a minimum, you need to have 2 wins and a second place in order to get enough points to beat anybody else. And this is sort of my sort of do with this. And there are times where I've done stuff where I've managed to absolutely hammer first place on a couple of events. And when I've had an event which has been an absolute nightmare, and I've just struggled with second place. And that's given me enough points to complete it. Hit that one. Oh, I hate the traffic on this. I know it's illegal street racing, so you can't exactly go around closing roads, but the traffic does bug me on this. It really does. You'll guarantee, no matter where you want to go, there's always some idiot on your driver line. But it doesn't slow me down too much, and I've got a finish line up here, so that isn't too bad. I'm happy enough with that one. So foot down, through the line, job's a good one. 2 for 2, 40 points on the board, with 1 more left to do. Once again, we're all about 6% behind me, so let's skip it, get back into the map, and have a head over to the Monument Wins. Moving over, we've got the Monument Wins. Okay, fast travel, why not, you know? Get this loaded in, so we're here now. The boiler's just kicked in, so that might be the buzzing noise if you hear anything in the background. So here we are, the Monument Wins. So let's start the event. Right. Go, 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 go. Why have you put me inside the car? Right, cut out of it. Let's do a cheeky bit of rotating down the middle. This corner's always a bit dodgy. Give you a little bit of a nudge, but you're trying to push me back a little bit, but I'm not having that, Because I do find on this stuff, where you get the driver tire cars, avoid those lot there. The driver tire cars, they do slam their brakes down and you get stuck on them and they just keep their brakes down. Okay, I'm give me a little boost there. Excellent, kept me online. And yeah, they slow down, allowing whoever's in first to get further ahead. It seems to be that they're not really sort of trying to sort of like get up the pack. Oh, totally wide, but I've pulled it back. Sandman's just passed me again. So yeah, it does seem like a lot of the players, a lot of the computer controlled cars in this are actually pretty corrupt. They're all sort of like trying to slow you down for the benefit of whoever's in front, and they're not really sort of trying to get to the front themselves. But I have managed to get to the front, going around here, a bit curved around there, so a bit of a tight corner. Got the Scott Monument up there, so slow it down. Cut a corner a little bit there, straight line, little turn around there, and yes, avoid you. I don't hit that BM. Pass for tram, stop. A little bit of braking for that one because you'll guarantee you'll end up in the park. And yeah, okay, right, a little bit of a distance now, and got a tight corner. It's a bit zigzaggy up here, right? I'm not really fan of corners. Oh, look, there's someone on my driving line there. But a little drift and past you. Okay, how was that right? Great drift. Round there. This is why I keep the stability off, because the traction stops me from spinning, but the stability off lets me do stuff like that. Again, round there. Not really the quickest way to approach this, in fairness, but I've got a bit of a lead. Oh, careful, careful. Okay, that's not breakable. Right, otherwise I would have been in the park. But the thing is, if you slow down too much, they'll pass you. So if you can chuck a drift round a little bit, it will sort of help you out a little bit. But we're leaving the city now, so I'm okay here. So I was going round into this drift zone here. The drift zone that people are very familiar with if they've been screaming at the Princess Street speed trap for the last 7 days. Slam the brakes down on that one. Give it a drift round, and my finish line's only up here. A little bit slower than I was hoping, but it doesn't matter. I've got the lead. Past that Fiesta or whatever it is. And oh look, I can see the finish line. Right, foot down. That was easy, no problems. 3 for 3. That'll be 60 points on the board, and that's a championship victory. So, okay, cool. Bring me a dream complete. Got bing, bing, bing. That's the different levels of completion. The highly skilled is the important one, because it gets you the Ford Raptor. The Ford Raptor 2011, not a bad truck. Got some credit rewards. You get some XP and some stuff as well. So basically, bad as that. That's that championship. It's not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. And remember, if you do like this stuff, hit a like, leave me a comment. And if you're looking for the other championships, have a look at the other videos. I've got them up on the corner there, so definitely give them a click, have a look at them. And until next time, thank you for watching. Take it easy and happy driving.